Your clients could be ruining their permanent brows, and it could be nothing to do with your technique and everything to do with what they're doing to them. So in this video, I'm going to break down the optimal eyebrow aftercare routine so your clients get perfect retention and you can stop stressing about your work. I help permanent makeup artists level up with simple explanations. So if you want to work with me, click the link in the description. Okay, let's crack on. There are 3 vital stages to make sure that your clients' PMU brows heal beautifully. Number 1, what your clients do before their treatment. Number 2, what you do to implant the pigment. And number 3, what your clients do after. And it's this last step that we're going to level up. When we implant pigment into the skin with a needle, the body immediately senses an attack and sends defense in the form of lymph fluid and white cells to fight the attack. Once your client leaves, the body is still trying to push this foreign substance out, and 50% of the pigment leaves the area because of this. Lymphatic fluid left on the skin can start to dry out and crust up, and it forms scabs. And when they come off, they can take the pigment with them. So we need to keep the area free from lymph fluid, but without encouraging the body to push the pigment out. So in the first 5 hours or so after treatment, using a sterile wipe, clients should wipe the area, but only if there's fluid there. If it's dry, then the wiping motion only encourages the body's pigment pushing. So if the brows are dry straight away, leave them alone until the next stage. The next step is the most important part of aftercare, and it's the one that there is so much misinformation about. Missing this step out is putting your clients at greater risk of infection and guaranteeing consistently poor healed results. Let me explain. So for days after the treatment, the body will continue to send small amounts of lymph fluid to the area to attack the foreign substance, the pigment, and also heal the area. The lymph is gonna dry and trap bacteria, and that is amplified if you just keep adding layer upon dirty layer of balm to the area. The brows will be dirty, scabby and moist, a perfect breeding ground for bacteria and infection. So to prevent this from happening, we just need to keep the area clean by washing it with a non-fragrance tattoo soap or something gentle like Castile soap, or even just water. But anyone still out there saying you can't get permanent makeup wet, or you can't shower or wash your hair, it's such bad and outdated advice. It's literally a wound. Keep it clean. Have clients wash the brows morning and night for a week to 10 days until any flaking is finished. Have a separate clean towel just for the face and use it to pat them dry. So what do they need to do after they've cleaned the brows? What do you need to put on them? Again, there's so much bad information around this part of aftercare. To keep the brows nicely moisturised to aid healing, stop scabbing and prevent the skin from cracking, clients should be putting some kind of balm on them, right? Well, yes, but what's put on them dramatically affects how good the brows are going to look. What about good old Vaseline? Well, during the healing phase, the skin needs to breathe to heal properly. Vaseline is petroleum based and doesn't allow this vital step. It clogs the pores and it traps bacteria. I honestly can't believe people are still advising using this. Using a moisturising balm that's specifically designed for tattoos will nourish the area while it heals and allow it to breathe without damaging the colour. My favourites are Hustle Butter and After Inked. The trick is not to overload the brows. A small grain of rice size amount of balm is fine, and just make sure that the area is washed first and don't just keep putting a fresh layer over a dirty layer. So it's clear that we want to prevent scabs, but what if they do happen? We don't want thick scabs during healing because 1, they're unsightly, and 2, they can remove the pigment that's trapped in them when they fall off. But some clients just are going to scab through biology. But honestly, with the correct implantation and with my method of aftercare, this very, very rarely happens to my clients. But what if it does? To get the best out of the permanent makeup, then the clients need to resist any urge to pick the scabs. Just keep the brows clean and let them come away naturally. I've still had clients that scabbed and they got absolutely perfect results just by being patient. So is there anything else that clients should avoid while the brows are healing? Yeah, there's 2 big things that they need to avoid if your clients don't want to wreck their new brows. You see, if a technician had given you brows that you absolutely hated, then you could come to me straight after to have the pigment soaked out with saline. Saline draws the pigment of fresh brows out of the skin. So if clients sweat heavily in a sauna or in the gym, then they are literally performing their own brow removal. No matter how well you implanted the pigment, the results will suck. So after their procedure for 2 weeks, clients need to avoid sweating in the gym, saunas, steam rooms, hot tubs and baths. It's not the water in the bath, it's the heat. Get them to stick to short showers to keep clean and just don't have them too hot. So what's the second major brow ruiner that they need to avoid during healing? In this phase, the skin is at its most vulnerable, so subjecting it to hot sun during healing will damage the lines and colour. Keep fresh brows out of the sun. Cover them with a hat if necessary. but putting sunscreen on healing brows is not a good idea. Only non-irritating healing balms should be put on in that initial stage. Once they're healed though, after 2 to 4 weeks, then putting sunscreen on your brows is the best way to keep them from fading quickly. Keeping fresh brows away from anything that might cause infection is also very important, so clients should only touch them with clean hands and avoid putting brow makeup or foundation over them until they're healed. Following this list is the surest way to give you incredible healed results, but all this work won't matter and clients can still be wasting their money if they don't carry out the right steps before they have permanent makeup. Brow pre-care is the first step to getting fabulous healed brows, and I show you the exact steps to follow in this video here.